two, one. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Your boy Dread is back with the DreadMan Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the DreadMan, here with my boys Flip and Walter Todd. What's going on, fellas?
Up. What's going on? You know what? I'm really concerned about you, Dreadman. I need to know how you're doing.
Yeah, it's good to have you guys back. And what an exciting week of football we had. A whole bunch of twists and turns, ups and downs, and a whole bunch of wacky results. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Was it a catch or was it not a catch? Jesse James, 28 seconds at the 10-yard line, and it was ruled not a catch. No. Let me go ahead in accordance to the new NFL rules. I saw three things happen. Doesn't this qualify as a catch? Let's see. 1, secured the ball. Check. 2, made a football move. Check. Down, not untouched by a defender. Double check. The ball broke the plane. Check. That should have been a goddamn touchdown. Y'all can't sit here and tell me that it wasn't a touchdown. I tell you, the people officiating that game I tell you who it was. It was Ray Charles, Helen Keller, and Stevie Wonder. Those are the damn referees for the game. And I know y'all sitting here, people sitting there complaining. The thing is, it was people at my job saying that, oh my God, we got screwed over. It was the biggest screw job of the century. No shit, Sherlock. And then there's people out there who are trying to argue and debate against it. Oh, well, the official said that it wasn't a catch. I don't give a damn about what the official said. Once that ball breaks the plane, it is over. The play is over and done with. And not to mention, we had several opportunities to win right there because Big Ben, he threw the damn ball. Who the hell throws a slant route when you're 5 yards to the damn end zone in triple coverage I can't even think of his name right now. I'm so heated. Oh yeah, number 17, Eli Rogers. How the hell you gonna throw in triple coverage and expect not to get picked off? He should have at least spiked the damn ball. And here's another thing. Another thing is, why did the clock keep, when he was down, the thing is, if you're not down by contact, isn't the clock supposed to keep moving? So if anything, Jesse James catching the ball should have been at the damn 1 yard line. So can't nobody tell me that it was not some kind of a screw job or conspiracy. And before I move on for what I want to move on from, I need to just address 4 things. Number 1, now, despite the outcome of this game, whether the Steelers win or whether they lose, you cannot leave the game or the fate of the game in the hands of the officials. It's like boxing almost. If you going in there for a championship, you can't leave it up to decision. You gotta knock the champ out. Number 2, always some kind of wacky ass injury that happens whenever the Steelers and the Patriots play each other. I don't know what the hell it is because the past few years it's always been a major player. It's always been let's see, the year before, it was last year when Le'Veon Bell got taken out with a groin injury, and we have a potential MVP candidate, Antonio Brown, who was taken out, and now he's gonna be because Carson Wentz is out for the year. Brown is out for at least the divisional round of the playoffs. The Seahawks might not even make the playoffs. So guess what? Tom Brady's gonna win the damn MVP by default. Third thing is I called this game down to a T minus the result. That Gronk ate us alive. Gronk ate us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't know why the hell they were sticking Sean Davis on him all night long, knowing that Gronk. All right, you're gonna stick Sean Davis, Artie Burns on Gronk. Sean Davis is 5'11", 190. Artie Burns is 6 foot, 195. Gronk is 6'6", 255. Why the hell are you going to single cover Gronk? It doesn't make any damn sense. Gronk chewed us up and spit us out 15 yards past the line of scrimmage. It didn't make any goddamn sense. And the thing is, because I'm so passionate about it because I'm sick of losing to these motherfuckers every damn year. And it's always some kind of technicality to why we lose. But in number 4, like I said, hopefully we actually do learn from this loss. And all we got to do is just take care of business and win out. I mean, a lot of crazy things can happen between now and, the playoffs. I mean, the Steelers already secured a playoff spot. But it's unfortunate how they fell, from first seed to second seed. It's ridiculous. I swear, I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what the hell it is, but it seems like we always have bad luck when it comes to officiating. That's why I say that you got to close games out and you can't leave it up to the referees. Whew! Now that I got that out of the way, now I'm over it. I got my rant out of the way, and I can move on. What do you guys have to say?
It was a catch, and you forgot one of the rules. You were playing the Patriots, so.
Oh yeah.
Look, man. be honest, the catch, I thought it was a catch. And when it was overruled, I was like, okay, Ben just has to get, things done real quick for y'all, and it'll be fine. And he, like, Schuster went down the field. He was on a mission. He had y'all in field goal range. I'm sitting there like, okay, Ben, like the ball, go into overtime. Your offense is killing them. Your defense is stopping them. You'll be fine. And then he tries to go with, like, the Russell Wilson pass.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
So it was just Russell Wilson all over again.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you can actually take this back to the Calvin Johnson / Dez Bryant rule. That's where this all started. What the hell is a catch?
Man, there was another catch in, like, the Raiders game after that.
Yeah, there was. There was some weird ass officiating in the NFL this year. This past week. And the thing is, these are crucial games. And like I said, you should not leave it up to the referees to decide the fate of the game for you, because it's never going to turn out in your favor. But Walter, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with the catch. I do think that Ben made a couple of errors, obviously with the pick and rushing it. And then after that big play to Juju, not running down the field to spike it, just wasting the timeout right there. Because if you would have saved that timeout, you would have had that in the back pocket, and then you would have been able to at least call timeout after that short play that only got like a couple of yards to Darius Hayward's head.
But you know why they did that, don't you? They only did that to run the clock out, so they couldn't give Tom, because you literally can't give Tom Brady even 30 seconds. So I thought that the play calling was I thought it was smart for the most part, just because they're trying to milk the clock. And you guys, I told y'all seen the time of possession, didn't y'all? Time of possession for the Steelers was 35 minutes and 40-some seconds. Time of possession for the Patriots like 24 minutes and like 15 seconds, something like that. So time of possession was really big.
You think that was helped a lot because Antonio Brown was out? You think that would have been the same? You think that forced the Steelers to kind of change their offense a little bit and try to do more ball control instead of those big plays with AB?
Oh yeah, definitely. But like I said, everybody was saying that not Emmanuel Sanders, but that Eli Rogers and Martavis Bryant stepped up for Brown in his absence, and they really did. There's no substitute for Brown because he's the best wide receiver in the league. But you're foolish if you don't think that the Steelers got weapons on there. If they don't have probably the top 3 receiving cores in the league. But yeah, Brown would have helped. But you can't really complain too much about it because at this point in the season, everybody's suffering for injury, so you can't really use injuries as an excuse.
Yeah. I don't know. It was impressive though. They almost pulled it off without AB. So I think after watching this game, I don't think the Patriots are clearly better than the Steelers. I think we were all. I forgot who split. Did you have the Pats or Steelers in this game?
He had the Steelers.
I think I had the Steelers. Yeah.
I had them by 3.
I
said the final score was going to be 31-28. That's what I said.
Oh, you were almost right.
Yeah, I was almost right.
To be honest, he was talking about it was going to lead to coin toss and overtime.
Yeah.
I said it was going to be the coin toss and overtime. I decided it, and if the Steelers were to play for the field goal, it would have been right. But you know what?
Yeah. But y'all know better. But y'all know better than to let Tom Brady go to overtime. Everybody knows that. What's going on, Floyd?
Yeah.
Floyd's in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, Floyd?
Yeah. So Floyd, I don't think the Steelers. Steelers can obviously be pissed about this, but going forward, I think the Steelers. I don't think they look at the Patriots like a team that they can't beat. The only thing that's stopping them is basically Gronk, because Brady wasn't having a phenomenal game until that second half, and then him and Gronk started clicking, and it was just That's kind of really what changed it. So I think the Steelers still should have confidence. Even if they have to go play in Foxborough, I still think the Steelers overall are the better team. It's just the Patriots just have Tom Brady. So,
yeah, you're right about that. Now let's talk about the Raiders and the Cowboys ending. If we're gonna talk about wacky officiating and crazy endings, we might as well just go for the glory, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
But was it Carson Wentz's? Was it Derek Carr's fault though? Because if he'd have held on to the ball, the thing is, and like we said with Jesse James, once the plane is broken, it's over. He tipped the pylon, but the thing is, it went out at the half-yard line. And there was still some time on the clock, too. I say that result, even that was kind of, the end result was kind of on the Raiders at the end. But Flip, what do you think? Did the Raiders lose it, or did the Cowboys win it?
Oh, the Raiders definitely lost it. Derek Carr, I mean, if he just holds onto the ball, they lose.
Right.
This is how it is. That was definitely a game that Derek Carr could have won them, but I guess when you're reaching out like that, and anything can happen.
Yeah.
Hand slip. So I mean, it's his fault, but I can't really be like, damn, Derek Carr, like through the game, it's all your fault. Because I mean, it was a close match.
Yeah.
Because he could win either way. Blame it on Amari Cooper for not showing up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they need to do something about that rule, because they say that, because like you could apply this to the Jesse James catch and the fumble by Derek Carr. Now the key to it is, like, when you're going for a touchdown, the ground itself cannot cause a fumble. The ground itself didn't cause a fumble in either one of those situations.
I don't know, because he hadn't hit the ground yet, and he was just like he was reaching out, and I guess maybe he realized he couldn't hold on to the ball, and he just kind of like threw it in the end zone. So, I mean, with the Jesse James catch, it was an obvious catch.
Yeah.
It was late that this was the catch, and I don't know why they even reviewed it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's because there's under 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. That's the only reason that they got away with overturning that call. But yeah, the Derek Carr fumble, that was 100% fumble. Like I don't even see that like being up for discussion.
Yeah, Wazatov, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm starting to think now more if they should. Do you guys think they should change the touchback rule? Like, if you fumble it in the end zone, like, you guys think that's you guys still agree with that, or you guys think the team should maintain possession, or you think it's automatic? Because I don't know. The more I think about it, I think it might be kind of a stupid rule.
Like that whole, like I said, like they don't call it the tuck rule for nothing. But like I said, once the ball breaks the plane, it should be over. It doesn't matter if the ball moves a little bit or if you lose control of the ball after it. Once the ball breaks the plane, it's over. Like, let me give you an example. The Christmas Day game between the Ravens and the Steelers last year, the Immaculate Extension. Antonio Brown's feet didn't even cross the end zone. He just extended his arm and broke the plane. And he was touched by several defenders. Jesse James wasn't even touched by one. And the only reason why Derek Carr is because he lunged and got knocked out of bounds. If there was no defender there, guess what? That's a touchdown, buddy.
Oh, yeah. But to be fair, he didn't even make it to the end zone. Like, his hand kind of just touched the cone.
Yeah, the pylon. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you break the pylon, if you're kind of going out, it was in a gray area where you could say it was either at the half-yard line or he touched the pylon.
Yeah, I'm watching like a clip of it, or another replay of it. Like, he definitely, like, in slow motion, like, he definitely does not, like, the ball's out of his hands before it crosses the plane, and then obviously it hits the zone after. I just don't know why. I don't know. I guess he was trying to score, but I think the Raiders lost it. I mean, he could have been at the 1 yard line with first and goal with a timeout. Yeah. You know what I mean? He just handed off the Lynch. Would have put the Cowboys out of their misery. Now we got to deal with another week of Cowboys.
Oh, they survive another week.
Survive another week, and now they got Zeke back. So they're gonna be
that just makes the Raiders as a playoff team.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Now our week. All right. Do you guys want to make our weekly recap short, sweet, and to the point, and just say that the Steelers-Patriots game kills every single category? Game of the week, player of the week, team of the week, most improved of the week, choke of the week. Do y'all want to put the Steelers-Patriots game in every last one of those categories?
I'm not doing, obviously, game and choke of the week. You could say that. You had a couple other nominees for players.
No. Game of the week, I got the 49ers and Titans.
Oh, you're right about that. The underdogs actually pulled through.
We told you, man. I told you not to doubt Lord Jimmy.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, God.
The thing is, I goofed on that. I really did.
You don't ever goof on Jimmy G, man. Don't ever goof on.
The thing is, he might make me a believer. I might be a believer now because of that.
Listen, he's pulling off miracles with Mark Goodwin as wide receiver one.
I'm dancing right now, Snoop Dogg style of that song.
The West Coast is back, baby. We never left. So yeah, it was. No, Jimmy G's bringing back the West Coast, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love it. Him and Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould kicked he's had like 2 games this year where he's had 5 or 6 field goals. I mean, but whatever.
Yeah.
Jimmy G's looking like the truth out there, and that all for a second round pick is a damn robbery at this point.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be a force next year, especially in the NFC West.
Yeah, Jimmy G might be the best NFC West quarterback right now.
Wow. All right.
Ooh.
All right. Anyway, let's go on and hit up these predictions for Week 16. Wow. 2 weeks left, gentlemen, and I think the playoffs. I think that the most interesting thing right now is probably the NFC South because it is a 3-way horse race, and anything can happen. But like I said, we'll talk about that later. But anyway, right now, let's get into these predictions. Thursday night game, 4:30. The Indianapolis
Saturday night game, right?
There's a Thursday night game and
no Thursday night game.
I think there's a Saturday night game too. There are Saturday night. Yep, Saturday night game. Saturday night game, 4:30. Colts Ravens. Flip, who you got? And the Ravens are at home.
Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, the Colts defense is straight ass.
Yeah, it is.
It's not even funny how terrible they are. Even their offense is pretty garbage without Andrew Luck. T.Y. Hilton, I don't know. He's gone. I don't know where he went. Frank Gore's on his last leg. That team might be competing with the Browns for worst team in the NFL. But Ravens look really actually strong.
Yeah.
They look strong and then they look weak sometimes. So
yeah.
In this game it's clear it's the Ravens. So we'll give it Ravens 27-13.
All right. Flip. Wasatov, who you got? Colts Ravens.
Yeah. Colts are just trash. They definitely have to fire their coach. It's just a bad situation over there, and hopefully Andrew Luck comes back. He's healthy. That's all I hope for that team. Baltimore is just better. They're just better on every side of the ball compared to them. Better coaching, much better defense. This is going to be a really pretty one-sided game. I think it's going to be 24-7.
Yeah.
Baltimore's still alive. I think they need some help, but this is going to be an easy win for them. It's pretty nice because both the games on Saturday are really kind of not really competitive in my mind. So it gives you ample time to do some late last minute Christmas shopping.
Yeah, pretty much. Shoot, Colts Ravens. Funny because the Baltimore Ravens used to be the Baltimore Colts, but that's another topic. Now, the Colts, they just can't get it together this year. They don't know what the hell they're doing as far as coaching, as far as defense. They got one of the worst defenses in the league. And it starts with their secondary. Their linebackers can get it done, but even against somebody who's inconsistent as the Ravens are. But the Ravens, I don't know what to make of them. But as a Steelers fan, much to my dismay, the Ravens just won't go the hell away because they're still in the damn hunt. And the Ravens always give us some kind of trouble in the playoffs if we run into them. Well, I think in the past 6 meetings, or in the past 8 meetings, I think we've only lost twice to them. I could be wrong. But the Ravens, they're more than capable of beating the Colts because the Colts are just a mess right now. I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Ravens 31-13. Next up, this should be interesting. NFC North divisional matchup. Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Flip, who you got? Vikes, Packers.
From what I'm hearing, they're shutting down Aaron Rodgers for the year.
Good.
They're out of the playoffs.
Good.
So I mean, if Brett Hundley's coming back out, it's not even going to be close. um, yeah, this should be an easy Vikings win. I mean, overall. I mean, even with Aaron Rodgers, I might have to give it to the Vikings either way.
Wow.
The way he was playing against the Panthers, he threw like 3 picks. I don't think he's back to full form yet. I think he's about like 80%.
Yeah, he's like 75-80%. I said the same thing.
Yeah, he was just trying to will himself up out there so he could get them to the playoffs. But yeah, Vikings got it probably 27 in.
All right, Flip. Wazatov, who you got? Mind you, it's at Lambeau Field, but yeah, like you said, they're going up against Brett Hundley, and that Vikings defense is no joke. But yeah, Wazatov, who you got? Vikes, Packers.
Yeah, if it was Aaron Rodgers with the playoffs still out there, there's that little that kind of special magic that he would have, especially in Lambeau. But this is Hundley against Minnesota defense that's pretty phenomenal. Secondary especially. It's gonna be a pretty much a multi-pick game. I think last time they played, he threw about 2 to 3 picks. I think you can expect to see that again as the Vikings. Potentially, I mean, what do you guys? I think Case Keenum might be in the MVP talk. What do you guys think?
Really? Wow.
No.
He's under. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves because Case Keenum, he is underrated, and Teddy Bridgewater came back from the damn dead. After us not seeing us for almost a year. But Case Keenum, he's underrated, but I could think of literally. I could think of. What are you about to say?
But I'm just saying situationally, right?
Yeah.
So you say right now probably Brady's probably the MVP considering the injuries to Carson Wentz and Antonio Brown, right? Because Brady's going to finish out the season. Brady's going to probably have around 30 touchdowns, 8 picks. But Case Keenum's around there in that 25 to 24 range in touchdowns. Is going to throw around probably only the same amount of picks, 8. And he kind of, he's leading this team to this team's going to be what 13-3, 12-4.
Yeah.
No, this is like a really. This is like kind of a weird year because I don't know if Brady is missing by default or because of the injuries to the other potential MVPs. I'm just saying. I think he can get some buzz out there. Yeah. Playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, he's underrated definitely, but like I said, I could probably think of 8 other if you would have asked me to list the top 10 list of MVP candidates, Case Keenum would probably be number 8, 9, or 10 somewhere. He's underrated, but I wouldn't put him in my top 5. But he's definitely done work, and he's definitely one of the most improved players in the league. You can go ahead and say that about him. But as far as my overall thoughts of the game, the Packers this year are a shell of their former self. They had, the thing is, when Aaron Rodgers went down in week 5, was it? It had to be week 5 or week 6. That was the beginning of the end for them. And then Aaron Rodgers, he just was half a man against a fired up Panthers team. And the Panthers are actually playing for something. It's not like they wasn't out there, just to get through another game. The Panthers actually had something to prove. But if Brett Hundley is starting, then I'm definitely giving it to the Vikes. If Bard, if some kind of catastrophe happened to where Brett Hundley gets injured, knock on wood, they probably will put Aaron Rodgers back in. But like I said, I'm not gonna hold my breath on that. But the Packers aren't really playing for anything, and the Vikes are. The worst the Packers can do, is put a dent in their playoff hopes and knock them down another notch. Probably knock them down to 2nd seed. But I'm not gonna hold my breath on that. I'm gonna go ahead and say Vikings 28-21 at Lambeau. All right, next up, we got the Detroit Lions going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Flip, who you got? Lions, Bengals.
This one's a weird one.
Yeah, it is. They don't, because the reason why, because these teams don't face each other that often.
Yeah, and they're both kind of struggling right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
Bengals defense is looking pretty bad. They just lost their coach basically. It looks like they gave up on
Marvin Lewis.
Last. Yeah, it looks like they just quit basically against the Vikings. The Lions, what they do? They beat the Bears. I mean, it's not really a huge accomplishment to beat the Bears. I don't know, man. I feel like the Lions' offense plus with the Bengals kind of probably not really in the mood to be playing when their coach is saying he's gone. Yeah, they're probably demoralized. So I'll give it to the Lions. Say 20 to 7.
All right, what's the time for you got? Lions, Bengals.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, I think I'm pretty confident that the Lions will take this game. I think the Lions just have to win out, and they're good. And they have some winnable. They have some winnable games on the schedule. So I think, especially with Cincinnati and how bad that team's looked, and then now with Marvin Lewis just putting his 2 weeks notice in.
Yeah.
It's not good for him. This Lions team, I don't know. The Lions team is hard to kind of gauge. They only have like maybe one or two good wins on their schedule this season. I mean, it's hard to tell if they make the playoffs, if they're actually going to make some noise or be competitive. I mean, Stafford's. It's just their running game just hasn't been kind of established yet. I mean, Theo Riddick's kind of taking the reins now these last couple of weeks, and he's playing all right. I just don't know, what they're gonna decide to do with Abdullah. They're still gonna kind of try to get him the games. I always felt like he was more the creative playmaker. Yeah, in terms of this game, I think the Lions they're still hungry. They're still waiting to play in January. And Cincinnati they're done for the season. So yeah. I'm gonna go with the Lions in this game. I'm gonna go with the Lions 26 to 13.
All right, a team that's still hungry versus a team with nothing to play for. Even at home, this should be a no-brainer because Andy Dalton doesn't know which way is up right now, and A.J. Green is fighting for his life. He's the only one, keeping them in games. The Bengals' defense is normally feared, but they're not what they used to be because they don't have any kind of direction going. The Lions are still alive, and the thing is, they need a few things to go their way to even get the 5th or the 6th seed. But to answer your question, Wazatov, is if they make the playoffs, will they be able to go far or make any noise? That's a rough question because the thing is, like I said this at the probably the middle of the season, the Lions are missing something. They're missing some kind of key element that keeps them from being an elite team, of them like going to the NFC Championship. I don't know what that something is. I don't know if it's coaching, if they need a running back, if they need an extra receiver. Well, their receivers are good, but I don't know what the hell it is. They're just missing something that's keeping them from getting over the hump. They can do good enough to get the playoffs, but the thing is, like, they can't get anywhere past the first or the second round. As sad as that might sound. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Lions in this one, just because based off the fact that they're playing for a hell of a lot more and they got more weapons. They bring more to the table than the Bengals do at this point of the season. I'm gonna go with the Lions. Give me the Lions 31-17 over the Bengals. Next up, this should be a very interesting one. The Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium. Now, as interesting as this is, even with as grim as it's looking for the Dolphins, believe it or not, are still in the hunt with a 6-8 record. They need a prayer. They need a hop, skip, jump, and a prayer, and they need lightning to strike twice. They need to knock on wood, a rabbit's foot, and to win the damn lottery for them to get even in the 5th or 6th seed in the playoffs. But they need a whole bunch of crap to happen for them to make it. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're actually still alive too. And the NFC West is gonna be some kind of a horse race. They got the 4th seed, so I think pretty much all they need to do is just win. They can afford to lose one more, but I think they can just win out. If they win out, they'll be safe. But we'll see. I said that their record at the beginning of the year was gonna be 10-6 anyway, if you guys recall. But I digress. Jarvis Landry, he can't do it all on offense, and Dominic. Actually, they put a dent in the armor of Tom Brady. I don't know if that was just bad. That was just them having an off or a bad night, and with them missing Gronk too. You could actually contribute that to it because 9 times out of 10, like the Patriots win that matchup. But the Chiefs at Arrowhead, I mean, not a lot of teams can beat them. But the Chiefs, they're starting to click a little bit more. They're starting to show flashes of who they were in the first 3 or 4 games of the season, right before they ran into that brick wall known as the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh yeah, but I don't really see. I mean, I actually see this game being closer than a lot of people think it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and just play it safe with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say 27-21 Chiefs. Flip, who you got? Dolphins, Chiefs.
Well, in my dream scenario, I got the Chiefs losing out next game. But this game seems like it could be one of those tricky to call games. Jay Cutler is Jay Cutler. He's confusing as hell to figure out.
Yeah, he's weird. He's inconsistent.
It's just, I don't know, man. I can't trust him. But Jarvis Landry, I trust because he gets like 10 targets a game and, like 15 targets a game, 10 catches a game, basically. And they just got Damon Williams back, and Kenyon Drake has actually been pretty surprising. Been running better than Jay Ajayi, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a nice little offense. I don't know if, what's his name? Is it Devontae Parker? That's on the
yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, Devontae Parker on the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't know if he's back because I know he got injured a couple of weeks back, but
I'll see him on the injury report.
Okay, so yeah, they have both the receivers. He's there. I can see their offense causing some problems for that Chiefs defense, and if their defense is going to be playing with confidence, knowing that they stopped Tom Brady last week, you're like you said, it could be one of those games that's really close. But because of that Arrowhead, I kind of have to edge it to the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning 23-20.
All right, Wazatile, who you got?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs kind of found what made it work for them at the beginning of the season, like you alluded to. I think that's just simply getting Kareem Hunt going. In his last couple of wins they've had, he's had over 100 yards on the ground, and I think that just does wonders for their offense. It takes a lot of pressure off of Alex Smith. It just helps make the offense run, and if that continues, which it very well can. Shady McCoy had a terrific game against this Miami defense last week. So Kareem Hunt could definitely duplicate it with in a similar fashion. And it's at Arrowhead. I just don't trust Jay Cutler enough to try to win a meaningful game on the road with the playoff life in balance. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in this game. I say Chiefs 27, Dolphins 17.
All right. And this is sudden death for the Dolphins. So if they lose, then they're out for good because they can't get in there with no 7-9 record. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. But yeah. Anyway, next up, oh my God, we got the Buffalo Bills going up against the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. Flip, who you got?
The Patriots at Bills.
Buffalo at Patriots.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, Buffalo at Patriots. You have the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots.
Oh man. Hope it's another trap game for Patriots, right? Yeah, this should be pretty open and shut. The
Who's starting? Is Tyrod Taylor or is Peterman starting?
Tyrod starting. He was injured last week.
Yeah, Tyrod. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was out for a couple weeks.
They have Tyrod, so anything is possible, I guess.
Yeah.
As long as Peterman ain't playing.
But it's at Gillette. It's at Gillette Stadium, though. So.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I mean, the Bills have usually had the Patriots number, at least like over the last few years, right? I mean, it could be another trap game, but I don't see it happening. I see the Patriots probably like smoking them 30.
Well, you never know because the Steelers gave the Patriots all they could handle. Do you think they blew their tank out playing us?
They might have. If it went into overtime, I'd give the Bills more run in this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But since it was over in regulation, I could see it being one of those easy games. Maybe they just run the clock out. Uh, yeah, I don't see the Bills beating them. I got 31. I'd say 31. Yeah, 31-17. Yeah.
All right, Walter Tav, who you got? Bills, Pats.
Yeah, I know 2 weeks ago after they lost to the Dolphins, we were expecting a pissed off Tom Brady game where he throws for a bunch of touchdowns, and that didn't happen against Pittsburgh because the team was so good. But I think that rolls over into this week. I think this is a game where Brady goes off and just shits on that defense,
right?
Which has been exposed late in the season. So especially and Deion Lewis is running really well for the Patriots as of late. I could see a big game from him. I just want to see I just want to see the Patriots come out of this uninjured, especially Gronk. I want to see them at their fullest when they meet the Steelers eventually in the AFC title game. But I think this is going to be New England in this game, especially at home. New England 33, Buffalo 17.
All right. Now, the Bills' defense has been getting all the credit in the world this season, and the Patriots. What can I say about the Patriots that hasn't already been said? And you're right, they do have a little bit of a weak link in that chain, and that's that secondary. But the thing is, the secondary, they can come up with an interception every now and then, but they're gonna need to, because Tyrod, he can pull victories out of his ass. But the thing is, like I said, they're going up against Tom Brady and the Pats at Gillette Stadium. LaShawn McCoy, in order for them to have a chance, he's going to have to run out of his damn mind. He's going to have to put up 125 yards and have 2 touchdowns. They're going to have to pretty much just run him till the wheels fall off. That way, it'll open up the passing game for the Bills. And I'll tell you this: if one turnover happens for the Bills, it's over. The Patriots are going to win. If any turnovers happen in favor of them, then it's pretty much already over. Like I said, I haven't really said anything about Brady in the past that I haven't already said previously. They are probably going to lock up the first seed. The thing is, but you never know. This year has been weird. They could. Could they lose? Definitely, they could lose. But I wouldn't bet my bottom dollar on it. Could they lose? Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. I'm gonna go ahead and take the safe bet. I'm gonna go ahead and say Patriots by. Yeah, give me the Patriots 28-14. Next up.
This game could get chippy though, because this is Gronk's game back against the Bills after that cheap hit he got suspended for.
Ooh, yeah,
So
good point.
Oh yeah, and the second matchup.
Yeah.
There's potential that someone might do a dirty hit on Gronk.
Yeah, because the Bills, they're out for blood. Against them. So yeah, it's like, well, if we're not going to the playoffs, so we might as well just hurt you guys as much as possible, so that way you can't get to the Super Bowl either. But we'll see. Next up, the Cleveland Browns going up against the Chicago Bears. This is a take a nap kind of game. You really could go to sleep for a couple hours and wake up and nothing really happens. The Browns, God bless them. This is going to be another failed season for them. They fight hard, but to no avail. The Bears might not be the best team, but the thing is, I think that they might have enough weapons. Even Mitchell Trubisky, with him being a damn turnover machine, I think even he can still get it done against this Browns team. But thing is, Who knows? The Browns might actually pull off their first win, and how much of a how much fun would that be if it was against the Chicago Bears? I don't really care about either team at this point in the year, and neither one of these guys is going anywhere because of their respective divisions. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the safe bet, and I'm gonna go ahead and just say Bears by 7. Now you know what? Give them to me about 4. 21-14 Bears. Flip, who you got?
I mean, Sean Kaiser is terrible, man. Like, if you put Deshaun Kaiser and Trubisky next to each other, like, Kaiser makes Trubisky look like Brett Favre out there. It's pretty bad, man. I was watching the Browns-Ravens game, and I'm pretty sure his team was giving up on him because I'm pretty sure Hugh Jackson gave up on him in that press conference.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't see this Browns team winning any games this season, to be honest. The Bears' defense is looking pretty solid over these last few games. Trubisky, when he doesn't throw 40 times in a game, looks pretty solid. So I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be one of those games where they're playing from behind. So he's probably going to air it out maybe like 17 times. If Jordan Howard goes off, then this game is over. That's basically it. I don't see Josh Gordon going off for any big yards because Kaiser's overthrowing him or underthrowing him. So, yeah, Bears win it 23-6.
All right, Wazzle, who you got?
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this game. Both terrible teams, terrible, not really great quarterbacks. I've only had maybe like one or two dynamic, like kind of like dynamic players that you would like to watch, but it's just going to be a kind of a crappy game to watch. I like the Bears in this game. The Bears are kind of really odd. They have some good wins on their schedule. They've beaten the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Vikings, I believe. And it's kind of random. I don't know how this team. And I'm sorry, the Panthers. They didn't beat the Vikings. Panthers. Sorry, they got the Panthers, Ravens, and Steelers as wins on their schedule. But but overall, this team's so trash. It's just so random that happened. Jordan Howard, the one bright spot on that offense. They've got no receivers. They're not doing Trubisky any favors. I think John Fox is probably gonna get fired after this season. And then the Bears will have to rebuild after that. I like the Bears though in this game. However, against the Browns, I can't go against the chance for another 0-16 team.
Yeah.
So I'll keep rooting for it. Chicago in this. I'll say Chicago 20, Cleveland 13.
All right. Next up, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the Carolina Panthers. Now, this past Monday, they just lost any and all chances that they had to make the playoffs because the NFC, there's only 3 teams who are still left in the hunt, and that's the Lions, Hawks, and Cowboys, and we'll get to those guys in a second. But, yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, the Panthers are the 5th seed, and the worst case scenario, they lose and get knocked down to the 6th seed. That's just worst case scenario. But, the Panthers are home in this game, so it's all but a foregone conclusion. Cam Newton's starting to get it together, so is their defense, stuff like that. I don't really see. I mean, don't get me wrong, but just because this is a divisional game, the Bucs will make it a fight. They'll make it a little bit scrappy, but I don't really see the Bucs getting over on them. And even if they get over on them, who cares? They just hurt the Panthers' chances of getting into the playoffs more. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the safe bet and say Panthers 31-20 even. Flip, who you got?
I think last I checked, Sean Jackson and O.J. Howard, they're both in boots. So I don't even think they're playing this week. And I don't even think they would risk it. I'm pretty sure they're getting shut down. So there goes Jameis. 2 of his biggest targets. Mike Evans has been non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they even lost another lineman. So this is James's fault, just because he wanted to do that little we eat W celebration. So I mean, Cam has been looking great. Uh, I think he took up the challenge against Aaron Rodgers last week, which is comforting that he can actually come out and show that, hey, I'm an elite quarterback too. Christian McCaffrey is finally coming into his own. That's a surprise. And Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen actually showed up, and I hope he shows up this week too. I might start him in fantasy. Who knows? But yeah, this is definitely a Panthers game. They should win this pretty simple 28 to like 28-13, yeah. 28-14.
All right, I'll buy that. Wazatile, who you got? Panthers, Bucks.
Yeah, I got the Panthers in this game. Although it's interesting to see because there's going to be a lot of rumors and questions. They're going to have to deal with the media, with the potential owner selling the team. So I don't know how that's going to affect them a little bit. I don't know if that's going to get in their heads. It's kind of a weird thing to have in the background. But against the Buccaneers, they won't need that much focus. I think. Their Panthers are just one of the best teams I've seen. I think one of the best teams that's been playing this season. Just from top to bottom, they have great wins on their schedule. They've beaten really good teams. I think the Bucks are it's just an underachieving season. I mean, they played it pretty tight against the Falcons, last night, but I think it's all for naught. I think they're gonna slowly start shutting it down, try to regroup and recalibrate for next year. I like, and especially Cam Newton's playing pretty well. He's definitely a bounce back from last season, and I like the Panthers in this game. I'll say 26 to 14.
All right. Next up, another NFC South match, and this game can get very, very interesting and very, very dangerous. The Atlanta Falcons going on the road against the New Orleans Saints. I'll reiterate, this game can get very dangerous. Wow. I didn't expect the result between these two guys last time. I got it wrong last time, but hold on, or did I? Because I actually did pick the Falcons to. I think I did pick the Falcons to win, but yeah, the Falcons are in the Saints' house this time, and hell, it might very well go the Saints' way. Neither one of these teams are really doing that much wrong, and I think it might come down. I mean, because Matt Ryan, he's starting to get it together. Drew Brees, come on, Drew Brees. Alvin Kamara, I mean, him 100%. I mean, he's probably going to be in conversation. He's already in conversation for Rookie of the Year. I mean, and I think that you guys can feel free. Y'all can call me crazy if y'all want. But I think that the defense for the Falcons might be just a tad better than the New Orleans Saints, even if the Saints are at home. Like I said, call me crazy, but they might. This game really is a toss-up. You can't really go wrong with either guy. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it safe and just pick the Saints, just based off the fact that they lost the last one. Flip, who you got?
Well, if Kamara doesn't get a concussion during this game, it should be an easy Saints win. The Falcons are good. They seem better when Tevin Coleman's out because Devontae Freeman was killing this week. So, I mean, the Falcons are a dangerous team, but that Saints offense they're on the roll right now. It's hard to bet against them, especially when Kamara is healthy. So, it might be a little close, and then maybe the Saints kind of run away with it. So I got it 34 to 28.
All right.
34 28.
All right, Walter Top, who you got?
Yeah, I think this is a field goal game because they're both good teams. I do like the Saints a little more overall, but um, divisional games are always going to be close. Both teams know what the other team's going to do. It's like y'all know each other's tricks. Y'all know what you're capable of. It's just a matter of execution and coaching. That's the only thing that's going to separate both squads. I think the Falcons are just overall this whole season for them. It's just been a little bit of a mini Super Bowl hangover. It's just been some. I don't think they're fully tapped or utilized the talents on this roster. And some of the players like the Sanu and like Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. I think there's games sometimes where that they're just lackluster. And Matt Ryan overall hasn't had as he's definitely fallen off from his MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He picked it up this past game. But this is in New Orleans. And the Saints are looking to win that division and try to stay up with the Panthers. I trust Drew Brees in that tandem running back situation a little more than I do Matt Ryan. I like the Saints in this game, but I think it's going to be a field goal game. I think it's going to be the Saints 23, the Falcons 20.
All right, like I said, like this is one of those hairpin type of games. You really can't go wrong with either player, especially since this is a divisional game and there's so much on the line with both of them. But yeah, next up we got the Denver Broncos going up against the Washington Redskins. Flip, who you got?
Man, Redskins defense, they're not that great right now. Redskins offense is not great right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Broncos are kind of clicking right now, man. I guess kind of Colts win, but Osweiler came out. He did his thing. Emmanuel Sanders looked like he was back in form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this might be a low-scoring game, but the Broncos' defense is too good. Kirk Cousins might make it interesting in the fourth quarter. I got it 20 to 14. 2014 Broncos, yeah.
All right, Top, who you got?
Yeah, the Colts. The Broncos have looked pretty good, but they've had some. They've had to play the Jets and the Colts. I was surprised with the Jets win, obviously how well they played, but the Colts win was expected. Just got defense. Although you're right, Osweiler did play a little better. I just either team again stands out. I can see this game. I can see this either being like a game where the Broncos defense just steps up and Kirk Cousins has a really crappy game, or Kirk Cousins shows out and somehow pulls it off against this team, against the Broncos. Mm-hmm. I tend to lean towards the defense. I don't like the makeup of this Redskins offense, especially with them shutting down Mr. Glass, aka Jordan Reed.
Boy.
It's unfortunate. That guy can't play 16 games.
Wow.
So yeah, I like and CJ Anderson is also picking it up as well. So I'll pick the Broncos in this game. I'll say Broncos 20. I'll say Redskins 14.
Yeah. Now the Broncos have all the momentum in the world because they beat the Colts last week. I don't know if that means anything or not, but that was actually probably one of the better games of last week, if you ask me. But yeah, I mean the Broncos are starting to click. They're starting to look like their old selves. But thing is, too little, too late. And the Redskins, I think, as it stands right now, are out of playoff contention. So this will be a game you watch just to watch. These guys are pretty much just playing for pride. If they win, oh well, it looks better on their morale. If they lose, oh well, they get a better draft pick. So I mean, these two guys aren't playing for anything, but who knows? They might beat the hell out of each other and give us a show. The Redskins are at home in this game, but who knows? I mean, they've lost to worse teams at home than the Broncos, and that's a fact. But Kirk Cousins is he gonna work? Is it gonna be a game where he works his magic, or is it gonna be another one of those games where he plays good for the first 3 quarters and then runs out of gas, and the defense has to bail him out? Because when it comes to the defense trying to bail him out, it usually never works in their favor. Broncos, like I said, they got pretty good weapons. It's just like they need to make the right play calls at the right time, and I actually do trust them a little bit more in this game. This is gonna be one of those probably within the field goal range games, but I'm gonna go ahead and just give it to give me the Broncos by 6, 27-21 over the Redskins. Next up, this matchup is very, very interesting. You got the Los Angeles Rams going up against the Tennessee Titans. The 5th seed in the AFC going up against the 3rd seed in the NFC. This is an interesting matchup. But Flip, who you got?
Titans are getting demolished.
My God.
Not even close. I'm sorry, but what if the Seahawks defense, even without Sherman and Chancellor, they couldn't stop this Rams team. And by the way, Todd Gurley deserves to be in MVP talk, to be honest.
Yeah, he's top 10 too.
He definitely needs to be in the MVP talk. But just the Titans, I don't know, man. Mariota, he's been mediocre. They're supposed to be a run-heavy team, but Marco Murray is like on and off. Aaron Donald is going to give this team a freaking nightmare. So, yeah, and they have Robert Woods back.
Yeah.
They have Robert Woods and Sammy Watkins and Cooper Kupp and Tavon Austin, Todd Gurley. Jared Goff is actually looking like a competent quarterback who should have gone in the first round. It shouldn't even be close. 37-13.
Wow. All right, Walter Tyler, who you got? Rams, Titans.
Yeah, the Rams really, really showed me something last week in the beatdown that they put on in Seattle. That was remarkable. That was a big statement game. If I didn't already claim that I'm like consider them like contenders, and if I didn't already say that, I feel like they're legit. Well, they're definitely legit, without a shadow of a doubt. And this Tennessee Titans team is not as good as their record might indicate. Now they're at home. They have a pretty good record at home, but I think this Rams team can travel. They travel well. I think this offense. I mean, this offense is so explosive, and I just think that they're going to put up points early on this Titans team, and Mariota is just going to have that deer in the headlights look, and he's just not going to know what he's not going to be able to keep up with that offense. Again, I think if their record wasn't as good as it was, I would say their coach, I think Malarkey, he potentially can be fired as well. But they have a chance to make the playoffs, so he'll still skate by. But I just don't think Mariota is not going to be able to keep up with this Rams offense, and it's going to be a bloodbath. I'm going to say Rams 34, Titans 17.
Ooh, you kind of had the score that I was going for. But yeah, I mean, the Rams, they pretty much just walked the dog. They pretty much in the famous words of Stone Cold Steve Austin, what they did to the Seahawks was they stomped the mud on their ass and walked it dry. And I thought it was going to be a lot closer just because it was the Seahawks. But yeah, they had Russell Wilson running for his damn life out there. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. But yeah, I mean, it seems like the Rams are clicking on both sides of the ball. And the thing is, the Rams, as good as they're doing, and even though the 3rd seed in the NFC, they're still getting overlooked. I don't understand why, but they are. Even with the ass whooping that they put on the what's called last week, and even in the classic game that they had with the Saints, in which nobody expected them to win, people are overlooking that one too. People, I mean, the thing is, because when it comes to the NFL, everybody's like, "Well, what have you done for me lately?" That's what the hell they've done for you lately. They put on classic matches. That's what they've done. The Titans are a very, very iffy team. I don't know if it's by the luck of the draw that they got 5th seed, but they could very well lose playoff potential altogether if they lose out. I mean, that's just the way it's looking right now. But we don't know which Marcus Mariota that we're gonna get. And the thing is, when you have an inconsistent quarterback, you don't want that against somebody who's playing the way that the Rams are. You either got to be heads or tails, or you're going to get your tails handed up. You're going to get your tail shoved up your head, if you guys know what I mean. But, shoot. Smart Money says Rams. Giving me the Rams 35-17 over the Titans. Next up, we got the LA Chargers going up against the New York Jets. Now, the Chargers, as inconsistent as they might be, they're still alive too with a 7-7 record. And the thing is, it seems like no matter who the Jets play, they make somewhat of a game in the first half. I don't know what it is about the Jets, but they just won't die. And the thing is, they either start slow and finish strong and blow it, or they start strong in the first half and then they run out of gas. I don't know what the hell it is. The thing is, they're gonna need a lot. They need a lot of work going into the off season with coaching. They need a consistent and steady quarterback. Their receiving core is good, and their defense is pretty damn solid. They just have a couple things they need to work on. But I still say that probably for the next 4 years, the Titans are gonna run the AFC East. I mean, not the Titans, but the Patriots are going to run the AFC East. But go ahead and give me in this situation. Go ahead and give me the Chargers by 8 points over the Jets. But Flip, who you got? Chargers, Jets.
All right, so I'm convinced the Chiefs have our number.
Wow,
it's been like this for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really surprised about last week. This week though, we're going up against Bryce Petty, I think.
Uh-huh.
Is that who the Chargers are?
I think so.
So I'm not surprised. I feel like the Saints defense isn't as good as the Chargers defense. I feel like our pass rush should get to him a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that we can stop the run. We'll lose this game if we can't stop Matt Forte and Bilal Powell. That's my hot take on that. But other than that, I think our offense are still going to be clicking. They need to get Melvin Gordon more involved. I'm hoping they bench Austin Eckler because he cost us last game and he cost us that game against the Jags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if they get Melvin Gordon actually clicking out there, throw him a couple of short passes, let him run the ball.
It'll get ugly.
Open it up for Keenan Allen and Hunter Henry. And I think Hunter Henry might be out. He has a lacerated teeth.
Yeah.
So
we have Melvin Gordon and if Melvin Gordon and Keenan Allen, if they start clicking, it's gonna get ugly for the Jets in a hurry. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. It'll get ugly. But yeah, what's your final score?
When we play from the head, we're good. So
yeah.
Final score 27-17.
All right, Wazatov, who you got? Jets, Chargers.
Yeah, the Jets, man, they're really overachievers. I was really surprised at that Saints game. I know we talked about it, and we felt like the Saints could win that game walking away, but we felt like they could win that game without even needing Kamara. But the Jets were right there with them for most of the part, and essentially, the score ended up just being because Ingram had that late touchdown run when they were running the clock out, but. The Jets are really an overachieving team. I could see this game being close, even with the Chargers. I think Chargers are overall a better squad, but I think this game will be kind of close just because the Jets seem to be scrappy as hell, and they have some receivers. But I trust Philip Rivers against this defense. I think I just don't think that he's going to go out in week 16. I think it's going to be another week, and then we'll see what happens to the Chargers if they're able to squeak into the playoffs or not. I don't think this is going to be this week, though. I think they're still going to be alive. Keenan Allen is going to continue his Pro Bowl campaign. I think he's going to be pretty much. He'll probably have at least over 100 yards against the secondary. I like the Chargers in this spot. I'll say Chargers 26, Jets 17.
All right. Next up, woo! We got the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, Jimmy G! Well done. Bravo. You made me a believer. You shut me the hell up against the Tennessee Titans. It was in a close game. And it seems like the 49ers kind of start like to get the wheels back under them, but the thing is, it's kind of too little too late. But they're going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jags have made believers out of me. I didn't really think much of them coming into this season, but the thing is, I mean, with the way their running game is, and with the way as good as their defense is, they have become a force. And they might actually they gonna make some noise in the playoffs. Believe that, depending on who they go up against. There's several classic matchups that the Jags could have. I'd like to see them go up against the I like to see a possible Jags and Jags Panthers. Jags Patriots. I like to see the one I want to see the most though is Jags and Kansas City. That's probably the one that I want to see the most. And who knows? We might see it depending on how the rest of the AFC stacks up. But the 49ers, as good as much as things are clicking for them right now. And, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people say they don't trust Blake Bortles, especially going into the playoffs. Hell, I don't either, because a defense and a good running game only get you so far. You need a quarterback to win a damn championship for you. But I'm going to play it safe and pick the Jaguars. I actually have this being closer than a lot of people realize, but I'm going to give me the Jaguars by 9 points over the 49ers. Flip, who you got? Jags, Niners.
You're sleeping on Blake Bortles, man. He's been looking good lately.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo. I respect Jimmy G. I think he's on on the 3 or 4 game win streak.
Oh yeah.
He's only played 3. He's only played the last 3 games, but he's won every game he's started so far.
Okay, so he's on the 3 game win streak, but I'm thinking that ends this week, man. Because let's be honest, that Jaguars defense is crazy, man. They don't have any flaws. They have playmakers on every level of that defense. It's kind of scary. And if Blake Bortles isn't playing terrible, which he isn't right now, and he's making it work with every receiver he has. Like Marquise Lee went down, he used the backup and just went off with him. So Blake Bortles is killing it out there. And Fournette's coming back this week, so I feel like the 49ers have their hands full with this, but I see them losing by 2 touchdowns, so I'll give it to the Jaguars 24 to 10.
All right. Wazatov, who you got? Jags, Niners.
This is going to be the toughest thing that our Lord and Savior Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, you're going to need to wash the taste out of your mouth after this one.
I know the thing I noticed really about Garoppolo is his pocket movement. Like the guy, he doesn't initially immediately scramble or roll out trying to get away from defenders. Like he stays in the pocket. He just shifts around in the pocket and he keeps his eyes downfield looking for the receiver. And he finds the guy. It's been a minute since I've seen someone in a Niners uniform move like that in the pocket just without when it's breaking down against him and he's still maintaining composure. It's something beautiful to watch. It brings a tear to my eye, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But the offensive line struggled a bit against the Titans front 7, so I'm really scared how they're going to look against this Jacksonville because this front 7 for Jacksonville is no joke, and that's the one thing that scares me right now because they're gonna be getting at Jimmy G and they're gonna be stacking him. There's no doubt about it. He's gonna take some hits. Now we've been pretty good with our run defense as of late. So I think maybe we can try to stifle Fournette, but Blake Bortles is playing pretty well, and you can definitely throw on our secondary. even it's pretty unbelievable, especially with how well he's been playing with his receivers going down. Like they're getting guys like off the practice squad. Like he had this guy Higgins scored two touchdowns, and last week, and he was not even he was definitely not on the depth chart a few weeks ago. So it's kind of crazy how they're plugging in guys. Even though I'm extremely biased when it comes to San Francisco, I will have an objective point in this game. I do like Jacksonville. If Jimmy G was not playing, this would probably be at least a double-digit blowout. But I think Jimmy G, there's something special about him. I don't know if Tom Brady's magic rubbed off on him, but it's gonna be close. It'll be single digits. I'm gonna go Jacksonville 28, 49ers 20.
All right. Next up, this is an interesting matchup. We got the Seattle Seahawks coming off one of the worst losses of the year, going up against the Dallas Cowboys with the returning Zeke Elliott in Jerry's world. Flip, you take this one away first. Who you got? Seahawks, Cowboys.
Oh man.
And both of these teams are very much still alive in the hunt. Let's see, you got the Seahawks at 8-6, Cowboys at 8-6. Whoever gets knocked out, whoever loses this game, this game is sudden death. So who loses gets knocked out.
Yeah, this is and it's at Jerry's World too.
Yeah.
Well, then again, Jerry's World has been kind of a curse for the Cowboys too.
Yeah, lately.
You never know. Oh man, to be honest, Russell Wilson doesn't have receivers. Like Doug Bolton, like he'll ball out, but then he'll go quiet. He's kind of like boom or bust.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham is kind of the same way.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham is inconsistent this year.
Their defense is hurt like crazy.
Yeah, Bobby
Russ
Wagner can't do it all.
Almost every I swear, it feels like Russ has been running for his life for about 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
This should be a Cowboys game. Zeke should be hungry. He'll probably come out and run for 150, to be honest. So yeah, with that happening, it opens up the field for Dak, so Dak would be a bit more comfortable. I got a Cowboys 27. I'll say like Russ tries to make a comeback, so 27-21. Yeah, 27-21.
All right. What's the time? What you got? Hawks, Cowboys.
Yeah, there's just too many injuries on Seattle. I'm not sure if Seattle at this current time is a good team anymore. They're like a borderline playoff team, and it's kind of sad to see after their kind of years of dominance in the NFC. They've always been like they've been a contender. They've been like a scary team to face in the playoffs. But I think now the injuries have kind of taken a toll, both on the defense and then on the offensive line, and they don't have any running back. And I see the Cowboys rejuvenated with the return of Ezekiel Elliott, and I think we're going to get another week of will the Cowboys pull this off and make the playoffs. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. I expect a big game out of Zeke. He'll take the load off of Dak and make him look good. And I like the Cowboys 24-17 against the Seahawks.
All right. Bearing in mind what I just said and what you guys just said, they are. I mean, at this point, the Seahawks are formidable, but they are a wounded animal. Like even if they do make the playoffs, I don't see them going that far. Matter of fact, you can say the same damn thing about the Cowboys. Even if they make the playoffs, like I don't really see them going that far because Dak he only has one year of playoff experience. Same thing with Zeke and Dez has been there before, but I mean they can't do it all by themselves. That Cowboys defense, if they want it, that Cowboys defense really is going to have to step up if they want to do anything in the postseason. If they make it with the way that the NFC is looking right now, because with the way it's looking. All three NFC South teams could make the playoffs with the way it's looking right now. But I mean, shit. Like I said, shoot, you have the Falcons at the 6th seed. They have 9. Their record is 9-5. They got a better record than both of these teams. But this game, if the Seahawks win this game, it's gonna say a lot. It's gonna say a lot about the Seahawks that they just won't die no matter how hurt they are, and it's gonna say how much that if the Cowboys lose this game, they don't deserve the playoffs. They're gonna be certified exposed. But smart money says that the Cowboys are gonna win this game. Give me the Cowboys in Jerry's world, 31-27. All right.
To add on to that real quick.
Sure.
I don't know, man. I think the Cowboys might be formidable in the playoffs. I mean, the only reason they didn't make it last year is because Aaron Rodgers is a god and Jared Cook on the sideline. So if the Cowboys make it, man, I could see them making a push. It's not like their team is pretty different from last year, you know?
Yeah, but they're gonna run smack. Guess what? I mean, it's like you trying to run from somebody. If you run from somebody trying to shoot you, then you get hit by a bus. Because look at who you got to contend with. You got to contend with the with the Eagles.
Eagles look readable, man. That defense is giving up points to the Giants.
But
yeah, they
Flip,
were.
I mean, Flip. Come on, Flip. At this point in the season, like they can't beat no. Yeah.
With Wentz, I would say it's a different story. But Foles, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of experience with this new offense. So I mean. It's a toss-up because Zeke is back. Zeke can make plays.
Watch how the Cowboys play these next 2 weeks with Ezekiel Elliott back, and then we'll talk about whether or not we think they're going to be a really good a team that makes the noise in the playoffs. Like watch how they play these next 2 games with the playoff hopes on the line. If they come out like like guns blazing, I mean I think there's potential for them to be a scary team. Especially
if I were them, I wouldn't play that way because I would want to save some kind of gas. I'm for the playoffs. You don't want to blow your tank out, then get to the playoffs and you're tired because it's already bad enough that you're going to be a wild card spot. Why would you waste that?
They got to make the playoffs first, man.
I mean,
obviously, if they got these games, they're winning them handily. You don't throw the kitchen sink unless you absolutely have to. But they definitely they got to make the playoffs. But I think they're obviously this first game is going to be telling. And then I don't know what day or what time they play on week 17. I think so. For the Cowboys to make the playoffs, right? They got to win out, and they need one of the NFC South teams to lose twice, right?
Yeah, to take a nosedive.
They need yeah. So and obviously the Falcons could lose. They lose this week.
Yeah, 2 of these teams got to face each other. Yeah, the Falcons and Saints got to face each other. So pick your poison.
The Falcons could lose. The Falcons could lose to the Saints, and the Falcons got to play Carolina in the last week.
Oh, yeah, that's where it gets interesting because, like I said, 2 of these 3 seeds they got to play each other. So yeah.
Yeah, they could. I don't know, man. I agree with Flip. I think they could potentially make some noise, just because the team's not that far different from last year. And if Dez can pick it up and start catching some passes that not hit him in the face mask, I think they'll be golden.
Yeah, but as a matter of fact, that's bad luck. I mean, to have your divisional games that mean something so late in the season. You want to get all your divisional games out of the way as soon as possible. I mean, of course, you're going to have 1 or 2 divisional games in probably the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. But you don't want it to be a season-ending game. You don't want it to be a win, you're in, lose, and you're out. You don't want it to be a win or go home type of situation. Like, I mean, seasonal games at this point in the season is what you don't want.
It makes for good television, though, right?
Yeah, it makes for good television. I'm just saying, like, you don't want to be on the bad receiving end of it.
Yeah, definitely don't.
Yeah.
Especially when it's the Panthers and the Saints.
Yeah, definitely. But all right. Next up, the New York Giants going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Neither one of these guys are really playing for anything either. And the thing is, I actually had high hope for the Cards, but I mean, with no solid court, with Blaine Gabbert and no Carson Palmer, they're a lost cause. The thing is, they got all the weapons in the world, but it's just that they just couldn't get it done. The New York Giants are the New York Giants of 2017. They're normally not a bad team. This is just a bad year for the Giants. Everybody has a bad year. It's just unfortunate that it had to be this year. But this whole year, I mean, when Odell Beckham Jr. went down, that was the beginning of the end. And them not getting the quarterback situation didn't make it any better either. I mean, like I said, this game is meaningless, but I'm gonna go ahead and just watch it anyway. Give me the Cardinals. I mean, just because based off the fact they're home, give me the Cardinals by 8 points over the Giants. Flip, who you got?
I'm not really a big fan of this Cardinals offense. Adrian Peterson, Erwin Williams. Larry Fitzgerald is Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, he's a wizard.
But I feel like Eli is playing like his last 2 games in a Giants jersey. So I think he's going to be going all out for the last 2 games. Because you saw against the Eagles, he was trying to win that game.
Definitely.
He was definitely trying to win that game. And I'm pretty sure they want to be in the lottery. So, yeah, I feel like he's gonna show out these last 2 games playing for his big team before he goes to Jacksonville and wins the Super Bowl. But yeah, I got the Giants winning this one, probably 23-17.
Wow.
I think Eli has his weapons, man. He has Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram. That's all he needs. Bowman and Darkwa are doing pretty good. So.
Yeah, if you ain't got nothing to play, if you ain't got nothing else to play for, you might as well just go ahead and put all your chips on the table. But yeah, Wazatov, who you got? Giants cards.
Yeah, I think Eli has got something to prove these last couple of games to any potential suitors that might want to trade for him. So I think I like them. I like them in this game. It's like I look at it like even though the Cardinals I would say have the better defense, I'm still going to look at this game as it's Eli versus Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah.
Even though Eli hasn't had a good season, I still trust him over Blaine Gabbert. I think, and again, like you said, that team was clicking last week when we all thought that the Eagles were just going to roll through them even without Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
They hung in there, and I think Eli might low key have some fight in the back of his mind, like because he knows that this team probably doesn't want him anymore, and he probably wants to f up their draft position a little bit. So I could maybe there's potential there. So I like that. I like the Giants in this spot. Give me the Giants in this game, 23-14.
All right, so we got 2 Giants and 1 Cards pick. All right. Like I said, these teams ain't really playing for anything, but this is just good. Like I said, I'm gonna watch just for the hell of it. Next up, Christmas Day, the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against the Houston Texans. Flip, who you got?
This should be a pretty easy game for the Steelers without Antonio Brown there.
But you know Mike Tomlin don't like to lose. Whenever Mike Tomlin loses, he doesn't just try to win. He tries to destroy you.
Yeah. And the Texans are looking very destroyable.
Yeah.
It's in the stars that the Steelers are about to...
Because when you lose in the fashion that the Steelers lose, and you have the same weapons, you got the weapons that Ben Roethlisberger has, you're going to be out for blood. You're going to feel sorry for whoever the hell they face next.
Yeah, I definitely... But, okay, here's the thing. I see the Texans kind of hanging in this one for like 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Just because DeAndre Hopkins is I don't know how he does it. I'm telling you guys, he might be the best receiver in the league.
He's probably going to be one of the highest paid receivers. I mean, to me, in my opinion, he actually should be the highest paid receiver in the league.
Just off the quarterbacks he has to play off of.
Of course.
So yeah, I think it'll be pretty close the first 3 quarters, and then Pittsburgh pulls away. Maybe Le'Veon just runs one for like 50 yards. But yeah, it should be probably like 27-17. Yeah, all right.
All right. Wazatov, who you got? Steelers, Texans.
Yeah, this Texans team is like that Christmas present for the Steelers in the back of the tree that they didn't realize was there. It's a nice little surprise for them to going forward after that terrible lump of coal they got from the refs last week. I like the Steelers. Especially after a devastating loss. I think they're going to be motivated to just put the whooping on Houston right now. And Houston is definitely ready-made to receive that whooping.
Yeah.
I think they're ready to. I think Bill O'Brien is out of here after this season. I think a lot of coaches are actually. I think there's probably a good handful of them. There's going to be a lot of coaching openings going into next offseason. But I think Ben Roethlisberger is going to have a pretty good game. I like the Steelers, and this is too easy. I'll probably say Steelers 20, Steelers 30, Houston 13.
All right. Now, like I said, I've made the case for both teams. I mean, if they had Deshaun Watson, if they had a steady running game, if Jadeveon Clowney just woke up and they had J.J. Watt, I'd be a little bit worried. Matter of fact, wouldn't that be something to see J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt playing in the exact same game with each other? And we actually have DeAndre Hopkins and Martavis Bryant, and they played on the same team for Clemson, so it's going to kind of be a homecoming for them as well.
Don't say that. He might go off.
Oh yeah. And I'm proud of Martavis Bryant because people were saying, because I'm in this Pittsburgh Steelers group where people were saying, well, we got Juju now, so Martavis Bryant's expendable. This is why you don't put all your eggs in one basket, because I figured that if Bell or Brown went down, we would need Martavis, and he showed up and showed out in the game against the New England Patriots. So we do need him as much as to some people's dismay, but he's actually probably my favorite, actually one of my favorite receivers in the league right now. But Big Ben, he's not gonna. I mean, the thing is, he's not the type to really get super discouraged. Even though he had that one bad game against the Jags, where he's like, maybe I don't have it anymore. Then after that loss, then he had an 8-game winning streak. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, out of the past 8 wins the Steelers had, only about 3 of them have been pretty convincing. All the other ones have been within 6 points or less. But, yeah, I think Big Ben's going to come out there and put on a show, for the Texans. This is a team we don't really face that often, but, I mean, with the state the Texans are in right now, I'm not really worried. Give me the Steelers over the Texans 31-17. Next up, wow. Last game of the night on Christmas night at 8:30. We got the Oakland Raiders going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Flip, who you got?
I still think the Eagles are playing for bye week, right?
Yes, sir.
They clinched division, now they're playing for bye week. So.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think they clinched the bye week. They clinched the bye week. They didn't clinch the first seed yet, though.
Yeah, they didn't clinch first seed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, yeah, I still see them playing for something. So the Raiders might just be free this week. So, yeah, I mean, we see the team holds is solid, put up 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Their defense is a little suspect, but I mean, Raiders look like a mess right now. So that's not really a big deal. Yeah, I see the Eagles winning this one, 27-20. Yeah.
I'm looking right now, in order for them to make the playoffs, they have to win out and hope that the Chiefs take a nosedive.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. Yeah, the Raiders got to win out and the Chiefs have to lose out. And with the Chiefs' next games, let's see, the Chiefs have to face the Dolphins and the Broncos. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I think the other option is the Titans lose out their next 2 games, but I think they'll lose the tiebreaker to.
Yeah, I think they split.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams are relying on the Titans to lose the next 2 games, which is very, very.
But yeah, final result. What's your final score for the game?
Oh, I had it 27-20, right?
All right. Wazzle Top, who you got? Raiders or Eagles?
Yeah, I see see the Raiders putting up a more of a fight. Or I'm sorry, I can see Foles maybe struggling a little bit more against this Raiders defense. But overall, I think it's another Eagles win. For some reason, I think Collinsworth, while he was commentating during the Sunday night game, he made a good point about the Raiders. The Raiders not really having an identity, not really deciding whether they're, because they have on paper they got playmakers at key positions, but they can't seem to utilize them. And it just can't decide whether they're like a power run team or if they're like a shootout, gunning team with Cooper and Crabtree out there on the wings and Jared Cook. They can't really seem to decide. You think they would be better with some of the weapons they have in their hands with Marshawn back there, but they just aren't. It's just been kind of underachieving. I almost look at them maybe as kind of like the AFC version of the Buccaneers. They got the weapons, but they just haven't been able to capitalize with them. So I'm not sure about them. They got some soul searching to do this offseason. I'll take the Eagles in this game just because of the team top to bottom, and Foles doesn't look like too much of a drop off as of right now from Carson Wentz. Yeah. So I'll say Eagles in this game, 28-17.
Now, first of all, I want to go ahead and apologize to Nick Foles for not giving him the credit that he deserves in previous weeks, because, like I said, whether people want to admit it or not, he probably is one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And he's got a hell of a lot of weapons to work with. So, I mean, the thing is, there's not really that much that they can do wrong at this point. I mean, so what if they fall to second seed and, the road goes through Minneapolis? I mean, fat chance, but, the thing is, you never really know. But I trust, I would, believe it or not, y'all might think I'm crazy for this, but I actually trust Nick Foles more than I trust Case Keenum. Like I said, call me nuts, but that's just me. But,
I trust that Vikings defense, though.
I don't know if I trust them more than the offensive weapons. Nelson Aguilar is looking pretty good. Jay Ajayi, for God's sakes. And Zach Ertz, when he's healthy, is probably top 10, maybe even top 5 tight ends in the league. The thing is, the Raiders got a lot to prove because they had a devastating loss against the Cowboys, and this is sudden death for them too. So it's like if they lose, then they're out for good. And like I said, even if they do win, they can't count on the Chiefs taking a nosedive. So are they going to be playing for something? Yes and no. If they're not going to be playing for a playoff spot, then they're going to be playing for a pride. But what better, way to play for pride than to knock off the Eagles? Once again, it's one of those possible but not likely scenarios. Give me the Eagles by 9 points in this game. All right, before we sign out, let's go ahead and have a look at this playoff picture. Look at the AFC first. We got Patriots at first seed with a half game over the Steelers. Steelers at the second seed. We got Jags at the third seed. Chiefs at the fourth seed with 8-6. Titans at the fifth seed also with 8-6 in the NFC South. The AFC South. And you got the Bills at the sixth seed. The AFC is kind of weird right now because the tide could shift so much. A lot of people aren't giving the AFC the credit that it deserves. Because everybody's like, well, the road's either going to go through Foxborough or Heinz Field. No team can really beat a home field Steelers or a home field Patriots. I don't care who they are. But it's very funny at this point in the season. I see probably these top 4 teams beating the hell out of each other, and then probably end up losing at home to the Patriots and the Steelers. And it's probably going to go through Gillette Stadium yet again. Now let's move over to the NFC. Call me crazy, but I think a wild card spot. I think like a wild card team is probably going to go up against the Eagles in the NFC Championships. It might either be the Panthers or it might be the Falcons again, or hell, it might even be the Saints. The Saints are tied for 10-4 right now with the Panthers. But the only reason why is because the Panthers got are behind because they lost to the Saints. Like I said, I don't trust the Vikings. I don't trust Case Keenum in the playoffs. Nick Foles in the playoffs. We'll see what he can do. And like I said, the worst they can hope for is fall in the second seed. So I think the Eagles are safe. But then again, I guess it would depend on who they play off. It depends on who they play against because the Eagles against the Falcons could be dangerous. The Eagles against the Rams could be very, very dangerous. And the Eagles against the Panthers, don't get me started. But yeah, I mean, those are teams right now that you don't want to face. Like I said, I actually have one of the probably one of the wild card teams going, winning the NFC Championship this year. But Flip, what's your thought on the AFC? And Wazatah, what are your thoughts on the AFC?
AFC, I think Patriots pretty much they're pretty much the first seed, Steelers second seed. That Titans fifth seed seems like the one that is probably going to disappear the most. I could see either actually the fifth and sixth seed might fall off because
I can see Baltimore getting the fifth seed, and I can see the Baltimore or the Chargers getting the fifth seed. I see the Chiefs staying right where they are.
Yeah, Chiefs are definitely staying right where they are in the fourth. Bills lose the tiebreaker to the Chargers, so I don't see them beating the Patriots this week. So it's gonna be close. Titans are going up against the Rams and the Jags. Those are two games you don't want to play if you're in playoff contention. So I see them falling off.
But if you're a Steelers fan, here's the beauty. Now, if the Patriots just so happen to lose one of the two games, not likely, and the Steelers win out in the AFC conference, they will only be technically a half game ahead of them. Just conference wise. But in which we'll get them the first seed back because they'll be 0.5 ahead of them. But yeah, like I say, if you're a Steelers fan, you're kind of going to be hoping that the Bills or they beat up on them, or I mean not the Bills, but yeah, the Bills or the Jets beat up on them, which is not likely. But yeah, there's two divisional games. But I mean, like I said, you never know. But I mean, I think that for the most part, the Patriots might go ahead and have that first seed locked up, and the road is going to go through Foxborough. The road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Foxborough yet again. But Wazatah, your thoughts on the AFC playoff picture?
Yeah, I think Baltimore. I see Baltimore sneaking in because they got a fairly solid schedule. Pretty easy to get the 10 for them. I can see Tennessee falling off because of the teams you mentioned are going against the Rams and the Jags. Yeah. I think the Jags will be out for blood and looking to just put an end to that team when they play. If for whatever reason, if that game is still meaning something, because if the Titans win out, then they'll win that division. But if the Titans are able to beat the Rams and Jacksonville for some reason loses to the Niners, that game's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see because there'll be some pressure on Blake Bortles to win that game. Buffalo's another interesting team. I mean, if they lose, I can see that. It sucks because obviously one more weekend and we'll kind of have a pretty much good footing on who's going to be in the playoffs. But I for sure pretty much can confidently look at Baltimore and think Baltimore is probably going to get in. It's going to be over Tennessee or Buffalo. I think 1 through 4 pretty much is going to stay the way it is. I don't see any changes there. So I think we're going to see. I think it's essentially who's going to be the odd man out. I'm not sure. The Chargers, they got the Jets and they got the Raiders. They could go 9-7. So I guess okay. So you said the Chargers have the tiebreaker over Buffalo, Flip?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Shit. Okay. It's very well done. They can very well be the Chargers. And then if the Chargers are in there, they're like a scary team. I think the Chargers are in that. If the Chargers are in the playoffs, they're a scary team. If they're playing, would the Chargers be the 6 or would they have it over Baltimore?
It would probably go up by record for that. So Baltimore wins one more game, they're basically in.
All right, so say they're 5. So Baltimore be 5 and and Los Angeles would be 6. So then we have a Jacksonville-Los Angeles game. Chargers coming to Jacksonville. I can see Blake Bortles choking that game. I mean, the next thing you know, the Chargers are the Chargers. Yeah, easily. Yeah, okay.
Remember, we almost beat them. We lost by 2 last time. We took it over.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing.
Yeah.
In week 17, if you already got a playoff spot, a lot of these teams, like the Patriots and the Steelers, like to rest their starters.
Yeah. Unless they're playing for unless they're playing for home field or something. But if you're essentially locked in, you're gonna rest the starters. You might play in the half or something, but you'll still rest them up. I think the NFC. I think the Lions. I think one of the NFC South teams is going to be the odd man out. I think it might be the Falcons. I think the Lions are going to sneak in. And I don't know. I hold out hope for the Cowboys. The Cowboys, I'll have to think about it. It depends if the Falcons really lose. Falcons lose the next 2, then yeah. But I think 1 through 4. I think the 4th seed obviously going to be either the Saints or the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit's going to be 5 or 6. I'm leaning on Detroit probably being the 6th seed. And then you look at that matchup. You got potentially the Rams playing Detroit.
Yeah.
That's a win for the Rams, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think Detroit. I think Detroit's gonna make the playoffs here, and then you're right. They could be another one and done season for Matt Stafford in the playoffs, and then nothing changes.
Yeah. Well, that'll wrap it up for this week. Like I said, we have an interesting week. I mean, the road to the Super Bowl starts now, pretty much, and it's going to be an exciting, week coming up, and the playoffs are going to be even more exciting. And well, once again, thank you, fellas, for contributing to the show. I really appreciate you guys having, I really appreciate having you guys on here. So as always, special thanks to you guys. Anyway, I'm out for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas, too.